All right, everybody, before we get into today's show, I just wanted you to know that over at Equilife, we are giving away a 20% off discount on all protocols store-wide. That means all the functional medicine protocols. You probably heard about the SIBO protocol for the gut, mold protocol for mold, the parasupport protocol for parasites, the functional medicine detox for functional medicine detoxing, and much more are all available at 20% off while supplies last. These are world-renowned protocols used by thousands of practitioners in their practice as well around the world. Head on over to stevencabral.com/shop to take advantage of this offer. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified doctor of naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
All right, everybody, we are here, brand new Cabral HouseCall, the weekend edition of the Cabral Concept, coming to you every single Saturday and Sunday, getting to about 10 to 12 of our community's questions. As always, love being able to reach out in the community, get these questions. My team does such an amazing job of assembling them every single week, and this weekend is no different. We're going to start off today, all things wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, longevity, weight gain, anything in that category of health and wellness. And I just opened up the document. I can see here the questions waiting for me. So without further ado, let's dive into today's show. First question is from Shelly. Shelly writes in saying, hello, could you explain the difference between Citricidal and Biocidin that you use in your practice? And which one would be best used if experiencing SIBO and mold? Thank you. Okay, great question. Happy that you wrote in. So there are two different variations of essentially Citricidal. So it comes from grapefruit seed extract. And if you go to your local, maybe Whole Foods or store, you might see GFSE drops. Now that's grapefruit seed extract drops. Those are very powerful. They're excellent drops. They're used as an antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antipathogenic. However, there is a stronger extract from GFSE, grapefruit seed extract, and that is Citricidal. That is what we use inside of our practice. It's by a company called Nutribiotic, but we never use it by itself. So keep in mind, I know everyone always looks for the silver bullet for SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or gut-based issues. But the reason why most people, pretty much everybody, always relapses is because it's not part of a comprehensive plan. And that is why I can't recommend you enough. If you've already tested, then great, you can do the SIBO protocol. Or if you decide not to test and you want to go right into a protocol, please use the SIBO protocol plus the Citricidal drops. That is a comprehensive 12-week protocol. The Citricidal drops are only the first 3 weeks of it. That allows you to get the results you're looking for, because you can't go into a gut healing protocol without looking at a biofilm disruptor, a natural herbal antimicrobial, and then also something to help repopulate the gut. But we've also found the best results over the last 13 years of doing this with clients very specifically, that the best way to get that is not to begin the repopulation right away, because you actually want to do a removal of that excess bacteria or fungus. And this is the way to do it. So you can go to stevencabral.com/CBO. I think that'll take you there. If not, just go to stevencabral.com/shop and search SIBO protocol. You don't have to use a SIBO protocol, but I'm telling you right now, it's used by thousands of practitioners around the world with all of their clients, and we use it with tens of thousands of people in our global functional medicine practice. So yes, we use Citricidal. Now we use Biocidin as well. Biocidin is not as strong as Citricidal. We'll use that as part of our children's SIBO protocol. It also has more ingredients in it that can make it, people can be a little bit more sensitive to it. So you can find Biocidin at stevencabral.com/shop. Again, we use the best, from around the world, products in the world. And we will use that in gentler protocols for individuals where we can't use Citricidal. Okay, so that's how we use it. Biocidin isn't just grapefruit seed extract. It's various herbs and antimicrobials that can be excellent. Now, if you're looking for mold, it's a little bit different. We have a mold protocol. And since it is different than bacterial overgrowth SIBO, I invite you to look into that one as well. If you want, people do the functional medicine detox, then the SIBO protocol, And then while they're doing the CBO finisher to seal up that gut wall, they'll do the mold protocol at the same time if they need to. That is by far and away the most effective way to do it. All right. Thank you for writing in, Shelly. I'll probably turn that into a podcast as well, because I know a lot of people have questions on that. All right, Paris is up next. Paris says, "You are the best, Dr. Cabral. You are my idol. I listen to all of your videos." Well, thank you, Paris. I appreciate that. A tiny bump that will not go away like a hemorrhoid. Does it have to be surgically removed, or will anything shrink natural it for good and dissolve it? It's been there for 3 years. It doesn't hurt, but I know it's there and I just want it to heal. I've tried ozonated olive oil, aloe vera, red light therapy, ozone therapy, but nothing works. What is the most powerful way to restore healing for dad who was a drummer? What does it mean when you are hypersensitive to smells? I know you stated you can smell the smells too, and you are extremely healthy. Does it mean the liver is truly toxic, or can it mean I'm healthy because I can smell it? That's a lot of questions. Okay, let's see if we can tackle these individually. All right, so I have all sorts of protocols just for hemorrhoids, and you can find all of them at stevencabral.com/podcasts. Just type in hemorrhoid. But typically what we need to do, topically, yes, you can use apple cider vinegar, and then you can use something like aloe vera. Apple cider vinegar can help shrink it. Aloe vera can help with the inflammation. Okay, that is absolutely true. Then a lot of people will also use coconut oil. All of those things can be helpful. That's not the only things to do, but that can be helpful. Okay, what's really important though is that we don't lose sight of why the hemorrhoid's there in the first place. So it can be there because of straining for bowel movements, meaning like the stool is too hard, you're constipated, you're straining. That could cause a hemorrhoid. Because it's just basically a swollen, inflamed vein, right? Varicose vein. But it can also be from foods that you're sensitive to that are causing hemorrhoids as well. So it's a much deeper picture. I like people to run, if possible, the bacterial and parasite stool test to look at what might be going on inside of the gut there as well. All right, let's get to the next question. Red light most powerful. Okay, healing for the ears for someone that was a drummer. First things first, look at overall inflammation in the body. It can make a dramatic difference. So, yes, there's different things that you can do inside the ear. You can do garlic oil drops just to help with any inflammation directly inside the ear. I podcast on that as well. But what I would do is I would run, if possible, the Big Five. And I would reduce inflammation in all of its states at a root causal level by looking at your omega-6 to omega-3 levels. Can help dramatically. Improve in antioxidants by getting more of the daily nutritional support and the daily fruit and vegetable blend in your dad's diet, as well as the daily omega-3. And improve, like I said, inflammation on all levels without having to do anything such as maybe a hearing aid, etc. That I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but looking at, okay, what can we do with the hearing at a base level? Stress also affects the hearing to a very large degree as well. What does it mean when you're hypersensitive to smells? Well, hypersensitivity to smells can also be someone that's running a little bit more anxious or a little bit more sympathetic nervous system or a little bit more heightened in stress in all ways, shapes, and forms. So I think that that's important. It says, I know you stated you can smell the smells too, and you are extremely healthy. So I would actually, maybe I said that in passing or so, but I am not someone that is hypersensitive to smells. I might have said like a specific smell, but that is not, I'm just not. If anything, I've had my nose broken twice, all sorts of issues, a deviated septum. So I'm not hypersensitive to smells. Some people say that it can correlate to like a congested liver or toxic liver. In that case, what I say is, well, if we want to put that to the test, I haven't necessarily seen any of that in the scientific literature, but what I would do is a functional medicine detox for 21 days to greatly empty that rain barrel and help with the overall toxicity of the body. I highly recommend that. And that's a great first place to start after running your at-home labs. All right, so Paris, a lot of questions. Hopefully that was helpful. Cynthia is up next. Dr. Cabral, I had one side of my thyroid removed 5 years ago at 57 years old. The reason, I had a nodule, which was benign, however, it was growing. It was monitored over 3 years before removed. I was immediately put on thyroid meds. I never had thyroid problems or blood tests showing any concern before the partial removal. Doctors didn't wait to test. They put me on the meds. They say it's lifetime. I'm currently on 137 milligrams of Synthroid or generic. Can I go off of the meds? Is it dangerous? Thank you. Okay, Cynthia, happy to help with this as well. You know that I can't give you any medical advice. I can't give anybody any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis. I'm a board certified doctor of naturopathy. I can't give any medical or pharmaceutical advice. Even if you were to ask a licensed medical doctor on a podcast, they still couldn't give you medical advice, right? Because you're not a patient of theirs. But what I can tell you is this. We can tell you for sure how your thyroid is functioning. And then based on that, you can say, oh, do you actually need thyroid medication? Yes or no. There's two ways to go about this. You can run the thyroid panel all by itself, or you can run the stress, mood, and metabolism test, which runs all of your hormones, stress hormones like cortisol, and your thyroid. So it's a much better test. But and if you've never run that, I would run that first. Then when you do a retest, you might just run the thyroid panel. So definitely recommend the stress, mood, and metabolism test. That's at StephenCabral.com/shop. You'll find it there. Again, you can just use the search box. Let's say you want to do the less expensive thyroid panel. No problem at all. But again, there can be issues for low thyroid besides having a partial removal. And sometimes it's high cortisol. There are other reasons as well. So let's just take this a step back though. What you can do is you can run that lab while on your thyroid medication. And it will let you know how your TSH, your free T3, your free T4, and your TPO antibodies are. And if it's perfect, well, you might be at the perfect dosage for you on that medication. If you'd like to see what's your thyroid while not on medication, you would not, again, I can't tell you not to take the medication, but you would not take the medication, then you would run this lab. And you'd have to wait a certain amount of time off the medication to see what your thyroid is. Now, if your thyroid was, let's just say like a 2.8 or 3 for TSH, and you were low T4, low T3, we would actually use natural nutritional supplements and maybe a thyroid glandular to boost thyroid function. And we would see, is that enough with still half a thyroid so that you didn't need to use the synthetic or Synthroid or the generic, okay? So that's how we work in our practice. Again, we're a natural health-based practice. We're happy to help you with that. And if that does sound helpful, you can go to StephenCabral.com/health-coaching and you can work with a health coach, or you can actually just order the lab if you'd like, and we can move through the protocols with you, okay? So hopefully that was helpful, Cynthia. Teresa's up next. Teresa says, hi, Dr. Cabral. How do you feel about using wild yam cream for perimenopause issues like PMS, sleep, etc.? Thanks. Okay, well, wild yam cream can be very effective and helpful for many women that are running lower progesterone, okay? So that is something that you may want to try. And if it works for you, fantastic. As I always say though, how do you know where you're at right now? How do you know if it's working? Beyond symptoms. I still think, symptoms is good to go by, but I can't recommend enough running either the women's wellness test or the full stress, mood, and metabolism test. Now, the women's wellness test is estrogen and progesterone and cortisol 4 times a day. The stress, mood, and metabolism test is all of those, plus testosterone and DHEA, plus your full thyroid function. Excuse me, I'm like choking to my words there today. Plus, it would run your vitamin D. It would run your insulin and hemoglobin A1C. So I definitely recommend that first. And then what you can do, again, same thing. You can use, I always like to get a baseline, where you're at right now. Then you could use the wild yam cream and say, okay, well, what does that do to your progesterone levels, maybe and or estrogen? And that would be great to know. So like when you're feeling great, okay, well, what are your levels? Because then you can mimic that for life. And I think that that's really nice because you find a personalized program for you. Now, we use a product that would give you more potentially benefit than the wild yam cream. It's called progesterone support. And that is not just wild yams, but other herbs in order to be able to boost progesterone naturally. So you can try that as well. It's totally up to you, whatever you get the best effect from. We also have another product called estrogen support for women perimenopause or postmenopause that need a little estrogen support as well. And again, you can dose that based on the dosage, of course, try that, and then based on what works best for your body as well. All right, we're going to keep it at that for today. We answered a bunch of questions, a lot of questions that came in. Excited to always see what the community is writing in with, but I'll be back answering another 5 to 6 questions from our community tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. And before you head off, I just want to make sure you do not miss this offer, which probably only happens once per year over at Equilife, and that is saving 20% off all of our functional medicine protocols. That includes our best-selling and most popular functional medicine detox, our SIBO protocol for gut health, our mold protocol for mold-based issues, our parasupport protocol for parasites, and so much more. Heavy metal detox, you'll be able to find them all by going to stevencabral.com/shop. You'll see the 20% discount already marked down. Head on over, take advantage of this offer. They're the same protocols used worldwide by thousands of practitioners, and I recommend them for you as well. Again, to take advantage of the 20% savings, saving you $25 to $50+ off, head on over to stevencabral.com/shop while supplies last.